Hi, my name is Andrew Wilson, and I'm a managing director at BlackRock. So I met the Vector team on the first day of Mentor Madness, and really got a chance to meet James and Nisarg for the first time that day. One of the things that immediately impressed me was that so many organizations and so many startups pay lip service to using machine learning techniques or AI in some way, but these guys are fearless about building a business that's predicated purely on that technology. I believe James and Nisarg are on the path to success because they demonstrate not just the pedigree, but a real grit in terms of how they pursue learning their customers, validating their use cases, and seeking many different opinions and outside perspective in terms of how they're forming their business and product strategy. Now, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you James Coombs, CEO of Team Vector.
Good morning. One more time. Good morning. Hi, I'm James from Vector.ai. More than 90% of the objects in this room were imported here. Your phones, your chairs, probably even this screen. But what you might not know is how complex it was to get all this stuff over here. It involved a huge network of logistics facilitators. I'm talking freight forwarders, customs brokers, trade finance banks, and more. But the real problem is communication. Because every step in this process behind me involves a generation or an exchange of a piece of paper. That's right, the communication technology for this entire industry is paper. Billions upon billions of pieces of paper. So why should you care? Well, for a start, it's a huge waste of money. Freight forwarders and trade finance banks spend $30 billion just processing paper every single year. And that's when things go well. Wrong, missing, and fraudulent paperwork costs these companies and their customers billions more. And if you're still not convinced, the UN estimates that putting paperwork online would increase exports from the Asia-Pacific region by $260 billion every single year. This is a huge deal. And that's why Vector's here. Because we make paperwork really, really easy. Because we accept that paper is going to be a big part of this industry. But what we don't accept is that paperwork should be such a burden. Because all we need is a scan of a document. And most of these companies do this anyway. And from there, we can understand everything about that doc. We extract text, handwriting, watermarks, logos, and more. But the important part is that we apply intelligent rules so a human operator doesn't have to. And we learn to do it better every single time. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is really easy. And it would be if everything was the same. But in the real world, nothing's the same. Every format is different. The information you need is all over the place. There's coffee stains. They've been driven over. They've been scanned literally multiple times. This would be challenging for a human. Fortunately, we're awesome at this. We're using machine learning techniques from Cambridge University that were developed this year. All of our tech is proprietary, and we've trained it already on thousands and thousands of logistics documents because we understand that deep tech has to go with deep product expertise. No one else is doing this. Our first customers are freight forwarders and trade finance banks because they feel this pain most. Every 1% in operational efficiency is worth over $300 million to these guys alone. And by dropping the time it takes to process a piece of paper from 5 minutes to 2, we're delivering 60% efficiency. What's more, by improving document management, we're helping these guys access a market they never could before. But what about real customers? Well, we've got those too. We're working with not just one, not just two, but 3 of the biggest and best trade finance banks in the world, including Barclays. This is where I play. Who will all save millions of dollars with our technology. We're also working with multiple freight forwarders and freight service providers who understand the need to digitize not just their customer-facing side, but their operations too. Finally, we're working with one of the world's largest tech companies who is providing our algorithms to serve their customers. So this is all really exciting. But you might have noticed something. We've engaged with a network here. Because unlike the future promise of a pure blockchain where you need every participant on the platform, we just need one participant and that first sheet of paper. We are in a unique position to be the single source of document truth and standardization for this entire industry. Imagine what possibilities that opens up. Finally, we're the right team to do this. I spent a decade in finance, and I saw this problem firsthand while running a commodities business. My first ever job to pay for college or university, wherever you're from, was at a shipping line where I processed manually bills of lading. It was painful. My co-founder, Nisarg, studied computer engineering at Cambridge University and worked on a leading postdoc AI team at both Cambridge and Microsoft Research. Together, we're committed to changing this long overlooked but critically important industry for the better. And if you're as excited by this opportunity as we are, come and find us. Vector.ai, solving real-world paperwork problems today. Thank you.